The diner clock ticked past 9:45 p.m. as Emily ran a damp cloth over the last table near the window. Outside, the rain tapped softly against the glass, echoing the quiet that had settled inside the nearly empty place. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, while a faint tune from the old jukebox played in the background. Emily moved with practiced precision, wiping, stacking, sweeping, her body aching from another long, lonely shift. Ever since management cut hours and staff to save money, she'd been closing alone, juggling customers, kitchen checks, and cleanup. But tonight had been especially draining. Her feet throbbed, and her smile, once effortless, now felt like a mask she had to remember to wear. In the corner booth sat a man with a small child on his lap. They'd arrived just before closing, apologetic and wet from the rain. The girl, no more than 4, clung to a worn stuffed bunny and picked at her grilled cheese while her father coaxed her gently to eat. Emily had noticed how kind he was, how he never raised his voice, even when the little girl whimpered and turned away from her food. Something about him caught her attention. Maybe the tired hope in his eyes, maybe the way he watched his daughter like she was the only thing keeping him grounded. As Emily swept crumbs from the floor near their table, the man stood slowly and walked to the counter, cradling his daughter in one arm. "Excuse me," he said softly, catching her eye. She turned toward him, surprised by the warmth in his voice. "Yes," she replied, tucking a stray hair behind her ear. "I know it's late, but can I ask you something?" he said, glancing down at his daughter, who now looked up at Emily curiously. "She's been quiet all day. We lost her mom a few months ago. She just asked me something I didn't expect. She asked if you could sit with us, just for a minute." Emily blinked, caught off guard. Her heart ached. She looked at the little girl's sad eyes, then back at the man. "Yes," she said softly, before she even realized it. That one question shattered the wall she'd built around herself. And neither of them knew it yet. But everything was about to change. Emily slid into the booth across from them, awkward at first, still wearing her apron and gripping her rag like armor. The little girl stared at her with wide, curious eyes, then offered a small smile, the kind that was both shy and searching. "Hey," she whispered, clutching her bunny tighter. Emily smiled gently back. "Hi there, I like your bunny. What's her name?" The girl hesitated, then answered softly, "Daisy." Her father, Daniel, watched the exchange with quiet relief. His shoulders, which had been tense all evening, seemed to lower just a little. Emily turned to him and offered a small smile. "She's sweet," she said, nodding at Lily. "So are you, for asking." Daniel chuckled, rubbing the back of his neck. "Honestly, I wasn't going to. I didn't want to be that guy who makes the waitress feel uncomfortable. But she looked at you like she recognized something kind." Emily's heart fluttered. It had been a long time since anyone had described her that way. For the next few minutes, they sat together as Emily asked Lily about her favorite colored purple, her favorite food, chocolate chip pancakes, and what she wanted to be when she grew up, a flower doctor, whatever that meant. Daniel added little details, occasionally sharing how Lily had been different since her mother passed, quieter, more withdrawn, less trusting of new people. Emily listened, not as a waitress on the clock, but as someone who understood loss and loneliness. She didn't mention her own past yet, but something inside her shifted as Lily reached across the table and placed Daisy, the bunny, gently in Emily's lap. "She likes you," Lily said simply, and that was enough to melt the last of Emily's defenses. When it was time for them to leave, Daniel reached for the bill, but Emily waved it off. "This one's on me," she said, "for Daisy's friend." He smiled, looking grateful but hesitant. As he tucked a tip beneath the edge of the syrup bottle, he also left something folded inside a napkin. After they were gone, Emily unfolded it. In simple handwriting, it read, "Thank you." You reminded her how to smile again. And for the first time in a very long while, Emily felt like she mattered. Beyond orders and tables and tips, something had changed. Something beautiful had just begun. The following Thursday, just as Emily was wiping down the counter and readying herself for another quiet night, The bell above the diner door jingled. And there they were. Daniel and Lily walked in, both smiling, as if that rainy night had never left them. Lily wore a sparkly headband and carried Daisy in her arms, holding the bunny proudly like a badge of honor. "We saved our booth," Emily said playfully, nodding toward the corner seat. Lily giggled and ran toward it, sliding in as if it were her throne. Emily couldn't help but beam as Daniel followed, gratefulness still etched in his expression. That night became a tradition. Every Thursday evening, without fail, Daniel and Lily would show up like clockwork. Emily began to look forward to their visits more than she admitted, her heart lifting as the door would swing open and Lily's squeal of excitement would cut through the monotony. They shared pancakes, silly stories, and pieces of their hearts. Emily learned that Lily loved bedtime stories, that she hated vegetables, and that she still sometimes cried for her mom when the lights went out. Daniel told Emily about his work as a mechanic, how he struggled balancing everything on his own, how hard it was to let anyone in after the loss. He didn't say it outright, but Emily could sense he was lonely too. Emily found herself opening up as well, telling them about her dream of owning her own little cafe someday, a place filled with light and warmth, where nobody had to eat alone. Daniel had listened intently, nodding slowly. "You'd make it beautiful," he had said. "People need places like that, and people like you." One night, Emily surprised Lily with a plate stacked high with pancakes drizzled in chocolate and topped with whipped cream and berries. "What's this?" Lily gasped. "The Lily Pancake Tower." Emily grinned. "Special order for my favorite customer." Lily's laughter filled the room like music, and Daniel's eyes softened as he looked at Emily. After Lily drifted to sleep in the booth, Daniel spoke, his voice quiet but sincere. "I think you've become part of our lives in a way I didn't expect," he said. Maybe this is something more than just a meal." Emily looked at him, her heart beating faster. Maybe, just maybe he was right. 6 months later, the diner looked nothing like the quiet, half-empty place it once was. The walls had been repainted in soft pastels, flower boxes hung beneath the windows, and laughter now filled the air more often than not. On this particular morning, sunlight spilled across the polished counter, where a small chalkboard sign read, "Emily's Place, where every table has a story." The transformation hadn't just been physical, it had been personal. Daniel had helped Emily turn her dream into a reality. With the little savings she had, and the support of Daniel's skilled hands and unwavering belief in her, they had reopened the diner together, co-owners in a business that had become a home for many. Lily danced between tables, now 5 and more vibrant than ever, wearing an apron too big for her and proudly handing out menus to early customers. Emily watched her, heart swelling with love she hadn't dared to feel in years. Lily wasn't just Daniel's daughter anymore. She was their daughter in all the ways that mattered. The three of them had grown into something real, something rooted in kindness, trust, and healing. As Daniel approached the counter with 2 cups of coffee, he leaned in and placed one in front of her. "Tired already?" he teased. Emily smirked, brushing a curl behind her ear. "Always but happy," she replied. Daniel nodded, his gaze warm. "You know," he said slowly, "it's wild to think all this started because Lily asked one question." Emily smiled, her eyes misting. One question, and everything changed. He pulled a small box from his pocket and slid it across the counter. "Well, I've got another question," he said, voice unsteady but sure. Emily opened it, gasping softly. Inside was a simple silver ring. "Will you be ours, officially?" Daniel asked, his voice thick with emotion. "Be my partner, in everything." Emily covered her mouth, tears spilling down her cheeks. Behind them, Lily clapped and shouted, "Say yes, Emily! Say yes!" "Wes," she whispered, laughing through her tears. "A million times yes." As the morning sun bathed the diner in golden light, Emily realized this wasn't just her place anymore. It was their place, a table set for 3, built on love, loss, and the courage to say yes to something new.